What's up, y'all? My name's Tim Ream. I'm here today on the 88th day of the spring cut. This is going to be leg day today too. I am at basically a total break with my old routine. There are still a few exercises in there. Kind of watched some new videos, got some new insight. Feel like I could be working the progression of the exercises a little bit better, hitting a more complete leg day with more complete exercises. So kind of been going over it in my mind for the last week. Feel like I've settled on a routine that is just, dude, it's gonna be killer. And I had a couple of those exercises in there last week, and dude, yeah, especially like the Bulgarian split squat, that thing had my glutes and my hamstrings burning for they was tired for like probably 3 days after that. But that being said, I've got the gym set up a little bit different. Gonna be using the equipment a little bit different. Don't know the exact weights. There'll be kind of an experimental aspect with this whole thing too, but we're gonna start out with the hamstrings, move up into the glutes, and then we'll come back around for the quads. So I typically don't do a quad and a hamstring workout in the same session. I'll try to break it up into two just to get a little bit more focus, but I feel like I've got it laid out pretty good. It'll be 7 exercises a day to, failure on each exercise. Really good progression. We're gonna start over here with the lying hamstring curls, where I've been doing them in a seated position. I feel like if I do it lying, then I just put that much more accentuation on the leg bicep there and on the hamstring. So we're gonna start throwing that in as one of the variables. That being said, let's go ahead and just get warmed up here.
Say goodbye to the lies, the fitness, and delusions of our society. Welcome to reality, guys. Today, we got a little midweek get better session. We got Q and AS. That's where you submit the Qs and we give you the AS. Now, you can submit your questions to be answered on the show a couple different ways. The first way is,
guys, email these questions into askandy@andypasella.com.
or you go on YouTube in the comment section, drop your question in there on the Q&A episodes, we'll answer something there as well. Guys, we are going to start doing live call-ins, so I'm going to let you guys know we've got that coming up. So the Q&As, we're going to start having you guys call in live.
Definitely messing around with some different leverages on this machine compared to what I'm used to. I'm going to do probably 2 warm-up sets. I'm going to do enough feeler/warm-up sets just to feel like I can get into that heavy set to failure safely. Kind of working our way up with weights as we go. Find our heavy weight we can work with, and then blast out and home. First set to failure, then we'll move on to the next exercise. That being said, that feels really, really good compared to the seated. It's just, you just got all of that weight bearing down on the hamstring right there, man. I've kind of stayed away from this movement just because it's just a pain in the ass to keep changing the machines out, and you gotta set the seat up and lay it back for this movement, and I've stayed away from it, but it's super beneficial. It's probably gonna stay in this position for a while now.
Bro, I drank a diet soda last night. My stomach fucked up. I know, I never do that. Yeah. I love that. Bro, I used to love Diet Mountain Dew, but dude, I drank like one, and my stomach was fucked, dude. Anyway, so I heard this thing. So I heard that.
I'm actually gonna bump down weight a little bit. Do a couple more pre-exhaustive sets. I don't like going into that heavy set until I feel like I've gotten a good burn going first.
You guys are so thoughtful. Yeah, I got you, bro. I appreciate that. All right, man. I'm not fucking around trying to be serious today. Put on your game face. We're gonna make people better. That's the same face. That's the same face. Bro, I got tagged in a story today. I thought it was pretty good. This guy he follows me and you, and I don't follow him. I never saw him before, but it showed up in my tag stories. And he wrote, I disagree with about half of what these guys say, but I believe they're trying to do the right thing and they're super entertaining. And he shared his show. I thought that was cool. You're sort of wrong. Or you are wrong. Yeah. But you know what? I love that our listeners.
You know, I've been looking forward to this workout since last week. Since I've seen how productive the actual exercises that I did were, I've been excited to kind of throw a little bit more in there and get a little bit more intense with it. So kind of wanted to take my time with this, make sure I introduce that burn good. Because once I do, then it's going to be that much more intense as I go into the other workout. So kind of really want to nail this one down first. Also, I would usually have a hamstring day and then later in a PM session, have a quad session too. So I'd be able to get a little bit more focused on the hamstrings. Well, since I've got quads and hamstrings in the same workout, then I don't have as many exercises to kind of get and build up to that just final set. So I've kind of got to make sure I really blast them while I've got the opportunity early in the workout. So kind of taking my time over here a little bit, but you know, experimenting with the weights, a new form of leverage with the different exercise. So just kind of finding that weight too and the right range of motion. Like I said, it's a little experimental, but you know, you got to kind of go through it while you're trying to find good workouts and exercises.
The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. I think that was my work. Yeah. You think he did it fast? No, he was just diligent. He showed up every day. He did what he needed to do. He did it at a high level, and he's highly skilled. Okay. So you have to understand, hard work doesn't mean speed. It also doesn't mean slow. It means I'm showing up, I'm relentlessly giving my best effort to produce my best product. All right? And there is a speed factor there, right? Like if you're a hard worker and you produce a good product, but other people produce as good of a product in half the time, they're better than you. That's a higher skill set. All right? So hard work is the prerequisite. It is the foundation. You will never find a successful person that doesn't have that as their foundation.
Okay. We kind of got it there. Not going to go up a whole lot of weight. Try to find that good fine line in between. This is heavy, but I can still stay contracted and squeezing. You know, kind of find that right in between. And I like to stay in that, you know, 8 to 12 rep range, which I'll probably go more with this, but here's what it is. You know, just try to always be operating as much as I can weight-wise, but also to where I can stay focused and contracted. You can go right into this here. We'll take this one to failure.
Work smart, not hard. Alright? Well, you're a fucking moron. Alright? I'll just tell you that right now. Because it takes both. It takes hard work and it takes smart work. So while you have to be putting in the work and you have to be showing up, giving it all you have, consistently be aware of the intentional skill set that you are building along the way. If you do not have a skill set, you're going to get paid a fraction of what you could get paid if you actually intentionally built skills to go along with it. And so, because
Yeah, went up a little too heavy on that one. Moving it down a little bit.
and because most people in a very, regular environment, they're not surrounded by successful people. They're not surrounded by people who have actually built things. They don't even know anybody in real life that has actually built things. It's very hard for them to understand that their parents, their aunts, and their uncles.
Alright, I'll have to call it. Move over here to singles. Definitely feel it though. Give it just a little second before I get into this. Been following Hani Rambod. Obviously, dude, he's got, I want to say 24 Olympias under his belt. Championships with different individuals. Dude knows what he's talking about. And I seen him in his prep with C-Bone doing their leg workout. And I'm like, damn, mine looks really rudimentary, to say the least, compared to theirs. I was on the right track, but just could have changed up the movements and the exercises just to get that much more out of it. And so now switch up to this routine, it's going to be way better. But it's kind of been talking about how if you're doing those double leg movement or heavy pressing movements with two hands, then you are pushing more with your strong arm than you are with your weak arm. So if you start doing isolation movements, then basically you're going to keep the symmetry and strength gains even across the board, and you can focus on that weak side. So hearing him say that matches up with the theories I have, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's just nice to be confirmed by somebody who actually is doing it on a daily basis. So I knew my stuff sounded good and was plausible, and logical, but just hearing it from him, I'm like, damn, dude, I say that shit all the time. So it kind of gives you that much more confirmation, I guess. All right, we're gonna start out with the weak leg first. I did these last week and don't feel like I hit it as far as I possibly could on the failure aspect, but we did find the weight we were after. So now that I'm starting this week, I'm a little bit more dialed in as far as what weights I should be using.
All right, everybody wants to brag about how hard they work. Everybody wants to brag about how busy they are. But the reality is that success doesn't give a shit how busy you are. It cares about how effective you are. Okay? And if you're effective at a lot of shit because you work hard and you
And the way I've got these exercises laid out, you'll see like I basically got 3 exercises in here for hamstrings. But on the second one, I'm starting to warm up the glutes. And then, so I've got basically 2 hamstring workouts, 2 glutes, 1 just all around hard pressing movement, and then 2 quad workouts. But it all flows like perfectly, dude. I've been like really excited to get in here to do it. Just because I know how well it flows together.
They don't say, hey, you're a fat fuck, you need to change. They say, you know, they suck in their gut and they look from the side and they're like, you know, I look all right. I'm good. I just wear this black shirt. You know, it'll cover me up. You know, and then they live their life that way. They live their life lying, telling themselves that they're good when they aren't good, and then they get mad about the results that they fail to produce. This is a big problem, dude. And another thing is, I noticed this with especially young people, and really it's not a fair, this is not a fair thing to say, especially young people, because I think it's all people. Most people have very tough time understanding that success and winning is something that you have to see.
Probably take one more warm-up set here.
Type up some bullshit, some pussy shit about, oh, but we're fucked by this place, or, you know, another place, blah, 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 take you to that, bro, fuck off, okay? There's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of people who have accomplished what it is that you're trying to accomplish, who come from harder places, worse places, more difficult places than you. And we have a society, and the truth is, people don't want to hear this, but it is true. We have a society of completely soft, marshmallow motherfuckers. Okay? They're not successful in any area of their life. They're not fit, they're not mentally fit, they're not good at their work, they're not good in relationships, but somehow it's everybody else's fault that they suck. Bro, look in the mirror, bro. Look at your life. Look at the decisions you're making. Look at the work you're putting in. Tell yourself the truth, and the answer will become apparent. And once you tell yourself the truth, you are now free to change the situation. But people are so afraid of the truth, and they're so afraid of confronting themselves with things that might hurt their ego, that they continue to lie, they continue to tell fairy tales, and at the end of their life, nothing has materialized, and they can't figure out why. So I got screwed, or it just didn't work out for me, or it was God's plan for me to be a loser. No, it wasn't. That was your plan. That's the result of your actions. I love it, man. Guys, any question of the student? I hit 80. I am 25. And I am building my insurance business. I feel like I have glimpses of when I am hyper-focused on my goals, and then days and even weeks when I feel like I am not. Even when I'm doing my goals, I still feel that
This will be our set to failure here.
you don't have discipline. Discipline is required to do the things that are hard when you don't feel like doing them. It doesn't mean they're going to feel like that. It just means they're still going to get done. If you take inventory of your life and everything you ever told yourself you wanted to be, and you go back in time and you say, what if I had been able to adhere to the plan I laid out in front of my path for me to get where I wanted to go, and I had stuck to that no matter what would my life look like now? What would my life look like if every single time I told myself I was going to get in great shape, I actually followed through the first time? What would my life look like if all the times I told myself I was going to take my career more seriously, I just did that the first time? Where would I be now? Right? It's a life-changing skill set. Being able to have high discipline. That does not mean as easy. You can't look at someone who is constantly, it's almost insulting to look at someone who is constantly working hard and think that it's easy for them to work hard. It's not easy. Bro, I struggle every day. I'm so physically sore every day. Like, I don't want to fucking lift weights. I don't want to do shit. I can barely fucking do. I'm like a lot older than you motherfuckers, most of you. Okay? Like, I'm sore. You think I want to go train with weights? You saw me doing train weights today. The first thing I said when I got up, I was like, fuck, don't get old. You know what I'm saying? And my back's stiff, my knees are stiff, my elbows are stiff. I'm fucking, it's not fun. It hurts. And don't fucking mess with me with all this fucking bullshit about touching the grass, bro. I know what I'm doing, okay? Like, I'm gonna get all these messages from dudes who've been training. I've been training for 30 fucking years, okay? I'm gonna get all these people who are new fitness influencers telling me I need to fucking do demo stretches or some shit. Send me a video, yeah, right. Yeah. I'll come over and stretch out your anus. I bet you will. So dude, anyway, my point is that don't mess with me some dumb shit. Alright? My point is
Alright, you can definitely use a little bit more practice with that movement, get my form down, all that stuff. Just gonna take reps, not 10, 20 reps, but it's gonna take several reps or sessions for me to kind of get that movement down. Just to accentuate that burn, I'm gonna start driving home these warm-up sets with the Romanian deadlift. Like I said, we're gonna hit 2 for hamstrings. This is still a hamstring movement, but you're starting to move up into the glute and all that stuff, starting to activate that for the next exercise. So, and just fucking around last week, I found out using 25s on the warm-up, I can get just about 2 more inches on my deep stretch and range of motion at the bottom compared to if I use 45s. So, start out with the 25s just to get that good stretch and burn induced for whenever I start to build up in weight for those heavier sets. Oh, yeah.
You feel like you have issues maintaining his focus, but you know you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, well, if you're having one of those days, dude, it's always a good thing to sit down and, remember why it is you're doing it. You know what I mean? And usually if you can remember that what you're doing is not really for you, it's for everybody else, you have more ability to sort of...
I'd like to keep this workout about 45 to 50 minutes. We're up into the 23 minutes right now. We're almost at the halfway mark. The good thing is, the last couple movements that I do are going to be pretty, I'm going to do leg extensions and then singles, so that should take probably 10 minutes total. And since I've done pretty good pre-exhaustive workouts and exercises leading up to the quad extensions and leg extensions, then I'll be able to kind of take those sets to failure because I've been a little bit more warmed up and pre-exhausted. So
Yeah, like you, for example, I know your calendar. When you go from this meeting that's for this specific department of the company, and you walk right into another office in a completely different place. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, maintaining, you realign that in that meeting.
Definitely got a good burn going. Kind of since I fixed my diet a little bit too. Got some higher carb days in there. And actually I'm bumped down my protein just a little bit to have higher carbohydrates. The difference in, 20 or 30 grams of protein versus carbohydrates and me having energy through the day. They say stay in that basically 3/4 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I went ahead and went to the lower side of that to about the 3/4 mark, just so I could bump up carbs just to have more energy in my workouts and throughout the day and all that stuff. So I actually do feel like it's made a difference. Just, what is that, like 30 grams of carbs? That's another, I don't even know what that is exactly. It's kind of weird because you wouldn't think like that much would do that much of a difference, but there is a physical barrier whenever your chemical resources run out. It's like your gas tank. Once it's out, it's out. And there is a certain period in time in your day that is going to take effect. It's not a magical process, it's just a chemical mathematical process. So, I feel like those 30 extra grams, whether it be psychological, which I don't even really want to say, I feel like I can tell I've got more energy and actually more strength in the gym too. Hit one heavy set to failure here.
Away from my end goal, and can definitely be that. I'm looking for that same drive and hunger. I know I'm capable of it, and I'm not really sure what the answer is to getting
you gotta set bigger goals. You gotta put yourself in every day to get up and
If you really kind of go slow at the bottom of that movement, go slow so you can really feel that stretch, and then pull up. Oh, all right, so this next one is a Bulgarian split squat is what I'll call it. I'm excited to do the movement just because it's so effective for the glutes and hamstrings, even quad, activating that quad, but it's not a fun movement. I'm not saying I'm dreading it, but after you've done some good hamstring work, you start to be a little less enthused about going into those heavy sets, and really pretty exhausted the hamstrings, moving up into the glutes. Been working over to all the way up to this Bulgarian split squat, and then I'm going to be going into heavy squats to failure. So still activating that. The Bulgarian will start inducing the quad now and be a glute workout too. So just moving up the back of the leg and then to the front. So, and I'm not even concerned with the type of weight that I'm using on this. I'm more concerned, since it's a newer movement, I'm more concerned with just getting my form down right. That's going to take more of the main priority. I'm going to do it with a dumbbell dangling in front of you. Do like one good feeler set and then get into a heavy set to failure. Not that it's super heavy, but heavy enough for me to feel it. That's for god dang sure. All right. Still got to kind of perfect this movement too.
what do I really want to do? How far away am I from that? And be honest with yourself, and then take the appropriate action. So I can't tell someone who is where they want to be and comfortable by design that they need to go expand their vision, because this is their vision. Their vision is, but there's things to be focused on.
I was kind of starting to hit sciatica a little bit last week. Not used to that movement. You obviously want to stay glute focused, kind of glute, and just kind of stay in that burn stretch position, no higher, and as low as you can go without falling out of form. Squeezing the entire time. Oh my God. That's not even a lot of weight. You kind of get over ambitious when you're planning your workouts. Like, yeah, I'll do those and then I'll do squats. And then whenever you get in here and do it, you're just like, oh fuck, I still got squats to do. I'd rather complete the workout, maybe a little less intensity or less weight or something, and still just get that focus and burn and stretch on the glutes and quads by doing the movement rather than just shrink out of it altogether. Shouldn't be yawning in the middle of your workouts, but we are past the halfway mark, I think. Right over. We're just going to drive this home, see how many we can get. This will be our failure set here.
You know, everybody has a different path of how they want to live, and I'm not going to tell people how to live. But you ask me if you're hungry again, I realize that that's what I realize. And you know, that's why when people are realize, because you're right, and they come up to me,
Almost didn't get back up with that. Probably should just drop the weight instead of try to bring it back up. Whew. I think that was 16. Try to mimic that on the other side as well. I'll try to, that's what we're going to do.
In my 40s that I did in my 40s because of the experience of time. Alright, so I set my goals big, bro. Like, real big. Like, you know, I like to say, well, medicine is the thief of joy. Well, it's also the driver of realizing your ultimate potential. Alright? I love it.
I hit calves yesterday. Don't like having calves on a leg day. My legs are already shot by the time I even do them. I stagger them onto a different day with like chest or whatever day, just not on legs. Motherfucker. Alright. Goddamn, I'm dreading these now. But we're gonna fucking do it. And we've been building up this whole time basically to peak out with squats and the Bulgarian split squats. So all of these workouts have been to kind of weaken certain body parts, glutes and hamstrings especially for the Bulgarian. So once we get around to the squat, just all that weight is more focused back there on the glutes and hamstrings. So let's fucking hit this shit.
Very rarely at this point do I see transformation that affects you in a way that's realistic. Because I identified with it personally so much. And bro, I know what it's all about. I know how fucking hard that is. I know how hard it is to live that life.
One more warm-up set. Part of me wants to go into this as a set to failure, but I ain't letting myself get out that easy. This will be one more warm-up set / feeler set, and then we'll go into the heavy one right after this.
I was on top of all my shifts for like 5 years. Living, breathing, fitness. I go home, watch Kai Green videos, run home on Phil Heath. Like, this was my life for 5-6 years. And then at 22, I started my business. Got a girlfriend at the same time. I went from a broke college kid to making like, I was living off $1,000 a semester. Before we put in some money. Like, we saw this results. Like,
The leg extensions we're about to do, they're on a different machine, different leverage. I've used this before, but that chain kind of switches positions, like at the end. Takes a little bit of weight off at the end of the movement, so we're going to try it again and see if I can get a different range of motion for a different outcome, but just thinking out loud. I still want to try to, it's just fun switching up your exercises. Instead of coming in here doing the same thing, it is a variation of the same thing I've been doing, but different machine, different leverage, different area of the gym, just something different to help with the longevity of your workout, just switching it up, keeping things to look forward to, instead of just burning out with all the same exercises. And so I find it's better for the longevity, just keeping it fresh before you ever get to that point of burnout. Not that I'm there, I'm far, far from there, but it's because I do shit like this, just switching it up. All right, this is it. One more. Yeah, one more. Motherfucker. God damn. That's out of the way. So, obviously, squats is a quad workout, or predominantly, it's a whole leg, whole upper body, but there's a lot of accentuation on the quad. So, moving into the leg extensions, which are a quad workout, just kind of, let's just put the finish and finishing burn on that movement. You can tell each one of the exercises I picked were just strategic in warming up the next muscle group, then the next one, so on and so forth. So I'm actually really happy with this progression. Although I should probably take a little bit more time to warm up the hamstrings, but still did pretty good because I had 3 hamstring movements in there. So by the time I got to number 2 and number 3, they were firing good. I don't know, 1 or 2 sets to warm up with on this, and then a heavy set.
This last time I decided that I'm fucking doing this. How did that come about?
bunch of wake up calls throughout. Like the first time I was fat, there was a bunch of wake up calls, but they never stuck because nothing gave me the structure I needed to actually make it a lifetime thing. So I tell this story all the time, which is actually fun.
Wow. Feel out of warm-up set here. Good warm-up set. So, you kind of hit the bottom of that movement. You know, the equipment literally hits the bottom. So, whenever you go up, that tension, due to the chain, how the chain is connected, it kind of takes a little bit of tension off too. So, if I stop right before that tension lets off, and before it hits, I actually feel like I get a better just time under tension because I'm just under constant tension that entire time. And sometimes, like on a machine, I'll look at the stack that I'm raising. And whenever I see it, I don't let it bang down and up. Like I'll literally get it to the point where it's about to hit the bottom of the deck. And before it does, bring it back up. Like I'm actually watching the stack to make sure that it never has just that momentary rest there. We're gonna bump up weight. I might take this one to failure. Like I said, experiment with different weights and all that right now. That feels good. You can see how I'm walking around. Oh, my legs are pumped, dude. Especially glutes and hamstrings. Pretty much fucking destroyed right now. This might be the failure movement, we'll see.
So that was enough to keep me posted for another 3 years where I'm not like a breakdown mentally. And that was it, man. That was my life. And so the years on we started was on a trip to Mexico. We were all chilling for days and we kind of were trying to focus. And so we used to go to these resorts at parties. We were partying this morning till night, like drinking and eating like shit. We get to this resort and everyone's at the resort except for a bunch of older people. It's like Timecodes. And we got there like it was a strict change from being like a trip to be like a big relax. Let's explore this. You couldn't walk the fucking mission like backstabbing like everything was a mission.
Okay, we're gonna call that the failure movement here. We're gonna drive it home with some singles here, and then we're gonna call that quits on the leg day. Try to still keep our volume low. We're at the 46-minute mark, so we'll be at about the 50-55 minutes for legs, which is pretty much right where I'd like to be. 45 to 50 minutes is ideal, but 53, I'm not gonna complain. Under an hour is where that's kind of my cutoff. It's like, at that point, you're just doing too many sets, too much volume. Whenever I start doing my bulk phase, I'm gonna put a lot more emphasis on all the movements I'm gonna do. I'm really gonna do my best to stay in that, 7 to 10, maybe 12 range, but I'm saying just keep all of these movements very, very fucking heavy and focused and squeezing, but I'm just really wanting to expose my body to a lot of raw weight on this next bulk. And I'm not doing it yet just because the calories aren't there, but that's the reason I'm keeping some of these some higher reps, just because I don't have the calories to, get stronger. You can't build something with no raw material. If you don't have any raw material to build with, you don't have the bricks and the block and the lumber, you're not building shit. You got a couple nails, okay, cool, you're still not going anywhere. Well, that's your calories. You can't create something from nothing. That's the law of thermodynamics, All right, 1 set to failure for each single leg, and then we'll be done with it.
Just starting out something, right? I know because you've said it 100 fucking times. No one believes you anymore. You've said it 100 times. And so eventually, though, when you've been on this for so long, they don't even try. They don't even ask like, hey, I'm on program. I'm on the program.
Oh, that actually was a really good weight. Pretty much the range, rep range I wanted to stay in.
This morning, when I was out doing my run, I was talking about how the world will see you as you say. People think that the world sees you a certain way, and then that's how you are. You have to change it. That's not how it looks. When you see yourself a certain way, the world expects that and sees you that way as well. And that goes for your diet, lifestyle, whatever you're trying to work on. And so like we create the image that the world accepts.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, that was a brief, infrequent, but heavy, intense leg workout for you guys on day 88 of the spring cut. Spring cut's going really, really good. About 1,700 calories at a deficit of anywhere from probably 750 to 1,000 a day. But that being said, I appreciate you guys who are following along with me, engaging with me in the comments. If you guys like the way that I take you through the workouts, the way I break them down, I just ask that you would please share, like, and subscribe. If you guys don't like it, that's cool too. We'll part as friends. That being said, I have left my email in the About section on the YouTube page. I'm gonna start extending some of my knowledge to you guys. So if you wanna get a diet plan, get your macros figured out, figure out some good workout routines, and get a hold of me in the comments or on my email. I appreciate you guys. And that was day 88. Quads, glutes, and hamstrings. All right, guys, I will see you probably not tomorrow, but the next day. All right, peace.